Jason, tell us a bit about how Ampli fits into that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, the first thing to say about Ampli is kind of the bit that goes above all of that. We've already touched upon, Rob, which is the challenge in the funnel. And the funnel actually in B2B is actually wrong in itself. The shape of it is actually wrong. This suggestion that it's wide at the top and narrow at the bottom suggests you can just keep, ramming a load of data down there and stuff will drop down the bottom. Most of the clients we work with have targets and commercials aligned to a size of world they haven't actually mapped yet, or which, if they have mapped it, it's been driven by SIC codes. We'll come back onto that in a minute, because they bring in themselves a whole load of inefficiencies and issues within the sales process. But the funnel's wrong in shape. Most organizations haven't got a view of who they can do business with. They haven't mapped the size of the world. And most B2B organizations are actually selling into a very finite world. There's only so many people you can sell to. Slight difference to the consumer world, where it's obviously much more driven by volume. So really, data and AI and what can be done start to fix and reshape that B2B sales funnel. So we've talked about SIC. So most organizations, if they are buying data or using data in their prospecting process, will be using SIC codes, SIC codes, as their dominant kind of force. And that's what we're starting to challenge now with the prospect blueprint model, and what can be done with AI and really sophisticated ways of machine learning to model data and not rely on SIC codes to do that. So that basically allows us to find the universe faster, find the universe in a more precise way, pinpoint our efforts far more precisely than was previously thought possible. So that's just one example of how the prospect blueprint products we're developing together is allowing us to find more prospects ultimately, because of all the inefficiencies and inadequacies that SIC codes bring. But really then, it's actually then around, once you've built that layer of intelligence, what do you actually do with it? How do you then connect that into the funnel? And going back to what we said at the start, the B2B buyer knowing more about you than you know about them. That's true. The B2B buying process is also now, I think on average, got 6 to 10 decision makers in an influencer cycle. So that influencer chain is huge. So don't think that you can just sell to one decision maker, which is how a lot of salespeople continue to sell to get the decision made. It isn't. You've got to find out who the influencers are, and again, the capabilities to do that sits in our solution. But then once you've got the data, how do you then speak to them? How do you then connect all these dots and bring that to life? So again, how do you influence those touch points in the right way, away from the sales efforts, the boots on the ground, the calling effort, the sales guys' efforts in field sales meetings? You've got to be touching all those points through automation, through online digital means, banner advertising, programmatic, search, etc., etc. So all of these things start to be pulled together. And and that intelligence layer that we're creating for our clients is going to allow you to do that seamlessly. And as Michael said, the key point here, the key thing I'm most passionate about in all of this is the acceleration of AI. Yeah, you will get there by doing a lot of this stuff in old ways, if you like, but you're going to get there 2, 3, 4, 5 years slower than adopting this technology, and you'll get there in weeks and months.
Very good. So nothing sacred in the sales and marketing world, Jason. You're going after the funnel shape, which is something we've all been taught and brought up on, I suppose, in sales. And you're also going after the SIC code. So it sounds pretty revolutionary in terms of what you're going for.